15 differences between British and American houses. Really enjoy checking out these kind of videos, checking out the differences between our houses. Before we do get into this, I appreciate if you guys can hit that subscribe button. But yeah, let's just straight to this and check out the houses.
Hey guys, I'm Eric.
I'm Grace. We're the Wandering Ravens.
We're an American couple with a deep love for all things UK. So today we're drinking Yorkshire tea and exploring the differences between British and American homes.
Shout out to our friends Jeff and Connie from the UK for sending us this delicious tea. This is a really exciting episode because we've lived in 9 different British houses and dozens of American houses. So we've compiled a rather modest list of differences between British and American homes.
But before we get into those, if learning about how we provincial Yanks live causes you to cackle with glee, then make sure you click subscribe.
That link will be in the description.
We release new UK versus USA videos every single Saturday.
Also, make sure
this is going to be a perfect video, though. The fact that they've lived in so many different houses in the UK and in America, bro, they're going to have the best comparison, surely.
Give this video a like to promote it on YouTube, and because if you don't, I will put this tea bag back in my tea.
Okay, the first thing we need to talk about are the differences between the way Brits and Americans talk about the places we live.
In the UK, we would call this a tourist house.
But in the United States, we call this...
Why are you Australian?
Am I Australian?
Yeah, you have to sound like you're from the South.
South.
In the UK, we call this a terraced house.
Right.
In the United States, we call this a townhouse.
Oh, okay.
You sounded Australian again.
Interesting.
I'll just say it in my normal voice.
Okay, how about that? Up next, we have a semi-detached house.
Right.
Which, of course, we would call a duplex or triplex.
In the UK, this is a detached...
Wait, what's the difference between a duplex and a triplex? So they sound different.
...house.
And here in good old Yankee land...
Hold on.
Okay, this is a detached house.
Right.
And here in good old Yankee land, this is simply... a house.
And last but not least, of course...
Yo, do you know what's funny, bro? You know a detached house in the UK? If you live in a detached house in the UK, you're doing well for yourself, you know what I mean? That's not very... Like, it can be... It's not normal, really, to be fair. I ain't gonna lie. Most of the population are living in a attached house in the UK. I'm pretty sure I'm correct with that. But I find it funny how in America, that's just standard.
We have a flat.
Which, here in America, we call an apartment or condominium.
Yo, who
condo. And we've heard a lot of...
Who calls it flat in the UK? I just always say apartment. Like, I lived in an apartment before this house. I would never call it a flat.
People express confusion about the terms apartment and condo, so let's clear that up real quick.
Okay.
Basically, an apartment building is where all the units are owned by the same company or person and they're leased out individually.
Right.
But a condo could be the same thing as an apartment building in look and appearance, except that all of the units are owned individually. From what I understand, in the UK, there is no distinction between those two. It's simply a flat.
Everything is...
Well, I wouldn't say it's always a flat. I don't know. I need to do like a poll with a bunch of UK people or something. I don't know, because I just refer them as apartments.
Flat.
Yeah.
Now that we've defined our terms, let's talk about who lives in what. So, kicking things off with the Yanks, 72% of Americans live in houses.
Wow.
20% live in apartments.
Okay.
5% live in mobile homes or trailers.
Okay.
And 3% live in other accommodations such as RVs, vans, and boats.
Right.
Across the pond, the numbers are fairly similar, with a little over 79% of Brits living in houses, 20% living in flats, and less than 1% living in other housing like vans, RVs.
You know what? I'm actually surprised. I thought it'd be more like 60% in houses and like 30% in apartments.
Igloos, and old shoes.
There was an old woman who
living in other housing like vans, RVs, igloos, and old shoes.
What do you mean igloos and old shoes, bro? Yo, what's going on in the UK?
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. When it comes to houses, the big difference here is that while 61% of Americans live in detached houses, only 24% of Brits live in detached houses.
This is what I'm saying, bro. 61. It is normal in America to live in a detached house, right? And, bro, only 24% are living in detached... Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people are living in detached houses in the UK, But as you can see, it's less than a quarter, bro. That's mad.
This difference is easy to explain, though, given that American suburbs can basically roll on forever. And so there's a lot more room to build detached houses.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, that was something that really gave us a culture shock when we first arrived in the UK. It was just the rows upon rows of semi-detached or terraced houses.
Can you guess which UK city this is? Bro, it looks like every UK city.
They're really cool, though. They look very nice.
They are. I kind of feel like I would like to live in a terraced house. Terrorist?
A terrorist house?
That's
No.
not what I meant.
Now let's roll into our next difference. Look at the floor plans and talk about house size.
Oh, your guys' houses are bigger.
Us was that in the UK, the average house size is 76 square meters, or for our Yankee friends, that's 818 square feet, which
Right, I don't really understand square meters, so we'll just see the difference.
Is not only smaller than the average American house, but is also smaller than the average house in Australia, Denmark, France, Spain, and even Ireland.
So
American houses, on the other hand, are nearly 3 times larger than British homes, coming in at an average size of 214 square meters.
Yo, every time we go from the UK streets to the American streets, it just makes me jealous, man. Like, you guys can see where I'm coming from, right? Look how beautiful your places are, bro, compared to ours.
Or 2,303
wow.
square feet.
That's huge. That is a huge house.
Yeah, that is really big.
Now let's talk about flats. The average 1-bedroom flat in the UK is 46 square meters, or 495 square feet. While in the USA, the average 1-bedroom apartment or condo is 70 square meters, or 757 square feet.
Here's another really interesting thing I discovered while doing research for this video. If these numbers that we're shouting off, square footage, size of the house, and all that, if those mean nothing to you, don't worry, you're not alone, because a recent study by Barclays Bank found that 57% of Brits don't know the size of their home.
Right, let me tell you a quick fact, because you guys have asked me loads of time, like, what size is my home and stuff. In the UK, we don't do houses by sizes. We do houses by rooms. So, like, what I'm saying is like, if somebody in the UK says to me, I live in a 1-bedroom house, I'll kind of know how big it is. I live in a 2-bedroom house, 3-bedroom house, 4-bedroom house. The more rooms, the more rougher the size I can work out in my head what it's going to be. You know what I'm saying?
Don't even know how big their house is, the square meterage or footage. And 25% of Brits don't actually know what a square meter or foot even is.
This makes sense because we have looked for properties in the UK before, homes in the UK, when we're like, what if we immigrated to the UK? We've looked at homes for sale, and it's very rare to have the square meterage listed at all.
Oh, so yeah, like, you don't see it.
How big is this place? I have no idea.
Right. This is true because if you're shopping for homes in the States, which whenever we move to a new city, because we do house sitting, whenever we pop up in a new city, we always go on and look at all the real estate to see what housing costs there. And if you look at a housing website here in the States, it's going to list everything by size.
Oh,
so you can sort by square footage. You can say, I want a minimum of 1,000 square feet, or I want a place between 800 and 1,000 square feet. And most Americans will know the size of their house.
Right.
So I think this difference between real estate in the UK and the US and listing square footage is probably why most Brits don't know the size of their home.
Yeah, it probably just comes down to the fact that, like, in the UK, bro, like, the houses aren't going to be massive anyway. Like, typically, you know what I'm saying? Like, in America, you got that much room, the house could be huge, bro. But, like, all the houses are pretty similar. Unless you got a lot of budget and you're going really big, then sure, you might want to, like, work out the size and stuff. But, bro, if it's got 3 rooms, it's got 3 rooms. It's got 4 rooms, it's got 4 rooms, man.
But if you're British, do let us know. Do you know why British real estate companies don't mention the square footage? Because it is very frustrating when we're looking for homes in the UK, which we do rather regularly, and we don't know how big this house is. So I'm like, oh, this house only costs £200,000, but I don't know how big it is, so I can't tell if this is a good deal or a terrible deal.
It's probably just like one of these little, like, stick huts in the backyard.
It's the shoe. It's the old lady's shoe.
Now let's step through the front door and talk about the next difference between British and American homes, which is
straight away
rooms.
Oh wait, no man.
So kicking things off with British homes, the average British house will have a living room, the kitchen, a bathroom or 2, a couple of bedrooms, the dining room, and of course, some homes will have the odd conservatory or dungeon.
And we're probably going to get some flack for the way we said that, because we would say conservatory.
But you guys would probably say conservatory?
That's it. Yeah, conservatory.
Conservatory. I would love to have one in my future.
What do you mean dungeon, bro? What is going on?
Your probable home someday.
Which might be a British home if we ever figure out the square footage. Now let's jump across the pond and look at the bog standard American house. The bog standard American house will have all of these rooms that we just listed, except for conservatories and, of course, dungeons. But the American house will have some rooms that we don't see in the UK very often. These rooms include the laundry room or utility room, the food pantry where you store food, the garage, the basement, and...
Oh, wait, no. In the UK, a lot of homes do have garages.
And the den or office. Of course, food, the garage, the basement, and the den or office. Of course, we understand that some British homes, the ones on the larger side, do have these rooms as well. But we've only seen them in 1 or 2 out of the 9 homes that we've stayed in so far.
I've seen and been in houses with garages. That's normal. Utility room. I actually have one in my house right now. I got a utility room. But I've never, ever seen a basement in the UK. Ever, bro. Never seen one.
Now let's talk about house construction.
One thing we noticed while we were in the UK was that most homes seem to be built out of brick or stone.
Yeah, that's right.
Across the pond in the US, most of our houses are built out of wood.
And this is a question we've received from a lot of Brits, both in person and in the comment sections. Why are American homes made out of cheap, flimsy wood?
Would you build your ship out of rocks? That is my question. Would you build it?
Well, we're not floating houses here, but sure.
Out of rocks? I think not.
Yeah, that's true. Case closed. No, but seriously, wood is cheap, strong, it's renewable, and it also lasts forever. There's a...
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. When I first heard that American homes are built out of wood, I did also think, like, whoa, like, isn't that gonna be flimsy? Like, isn't that gonna, like, rot or break? But apparently it's super strong. So, like, you're all good.
I think the oldest American house that's made out of wood dates all the way back to the 1600s. And in the UK, you guys have wooden houses dating back to the 1300s. Another misconception that we hear a lot is that American homes are only made from wood. But there is a lot of regional variety. In some places in the States, wood is really rare. And most houses are actually built out of brick and masonry.
Look at that.
And in parts of the States where there are wooden houses, they're generally a compilation of cinder blocks, brick, stone, steel, beams, sheetrock. I think the difference here is that throughout the history of the UK, there's been this long history of deforestation. And so lumber hasn't been a plentiful resource. So it just makes sense. Brick and stone houses make sense there. Whereas in the States, we have lumber everywhere. And so it makes sense that houses are made out of wood. So I don't think one is like better than the other.
I think a stone cottage is better than the other.
It's so funny because she's saying like she prefers UK homes. Yo, I will swap with you any day of the week. I've seen many American homes, and every time I see an American home, I just want to move there, bro. Like, I really do. I would actually swap in a heartbeat.
True. I like the stone cottages, but I also like the half-timbered houses, like Tudor houses and stuff like that.
Okay.
The what?
Yeah, those look really nice. You don't like Tudor houses?
No, I like them, but I wouldn't want to live in one. I would want to live in a stone cottage.
All right, now we're going to start talking about some of the fun miscellaneous differences between British and American homes, starting with washing machines.
So it's common for British people to have their washing machines located in their kitchens.
That's
which
true.
was quite a surprise to us because here in the US, we have a separate room that is dedicated to washing your clothes.
Yo, I'm just more American now, bro. I swear. Like, even my new house that I moved to, that I'm in right now, we don't have the washing machines in the kitchen no more. We did, but not anymore. Now we got them in the utility room, just like you guys in America, man.
Along a similar vein, 80% of American households have a clothes drying machine, while only 58% of British households do. In the UK, when we house sit, we have to get used to air drying our clothes. Yeah.
And it's always such a pain because the UK is a little bit more damp. I feel like it takes a long time for anything to dry.
I thought that was an old-fashioned thing, bro. Who's still hanging up their clothes? Only 50-something% of the people have a dryer in the UK. What are the other 50% doing? Still hanging their clothes up in the garden? Yo, that would take forever to dry.
It'll just stay perpetually wet for days. It makes sense that in the UK, where you guys are more environmentally conscious in general than here in the States, you guys would forego having a drying machine.
Although I would put this in the category of accidentally environmentally friendly. Kind of like the house size. Like it's not intentional, it's more a consequence of size constraints. But it's a positive consequence.
The next difference between British and American homes is closets. Closets are another feature of the American house. In fact, in standard real estate practice, it's common to not actually list a room as a bedroom unless it has a closet.
Oh, really?
Across the pond in the UK, we never saw a bedroom with closet.
I've never seen one.
Remember, all of the homes we stayed in either had a wardrobe for clothes, or they had those fitted wardrobe things that go over the bed. Which at first we thought were really nice. We walked into a room with it and we were like, this looks so...
Nah, that's horrible, bro. I have my wardrobe right here. I wish I could show you, but it's literally a corner wardrobe that comes off the wall. It makes sense to have closets because, like, it's more room in your room. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I don't know why it's because the houses are too small, man.
Great! But the friends we were staying with quickly informed us that it's considered quite tacky and poor taste.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Have you ever seen one of those in the States?
I haven't. Have you?
Me neither. No, I haven't.
You don't need it.
So you guys let us know. Is this poor taste?
Yeah.
Or is this the height of fashion?
Don't like that.
Another thing about the closet craze is that it's a huge status thing to have like a walk-in closet. Like if you have a walk-in closet, you're like making it.
Yeah, you need to have to be able to display your thousands of pairs of shoes and pants and clothes and anyways.
Yo, in the UK, bro, if you have a walk-in closet, bro, congrats. You made it in life, man. You made it in life. And in America, man, it's just it's so simple with standard.
Thousands of pairs of pants. The next big difference is porches. In the UK, we didn't really see any houses with porches.
Yeah, we don't have that.
Wrap-around porches.
Yeah,
we don't have that. That is almost ubiquitous with American homes.
Porch furniture?
Oh,
yes.
Porch swing.
Look at this, bro. Look, this is just stunning. It's beautiful, man.
Porch swings are really common.
Instead of having a porch, Brits seem to opt for a backyard patio or garden patio. And
that's what we have.
This reminds me of another difference that we noticed.
Yo, just tell me right now. Listen, anybody, I don't believe anybody that would say they'll rather live in the UK. Like, I've heard it over and over again. And some of you guys even said to me on my stream and stuff, you'd rather live in the UK. I'm like, what? Right, look at this, right? This is your American home. Boom. Right? And then this is our porch. Are you ready? Where is it? Where's it gone?
Porch Brits seem to opt for
boom. Look, here. You're telling me you'd rather live here? You're telling me you'd rather... Look how cramped it is. Bro, the other fence is here. It goes from here to here. You're telling me you'd rather live here? Nah, no way.
Backyard patio,
no way, don't believe it.
Garden patio. And this reminds me of another difference that we noticed. You guys can confirm or deny this for us, but it seems that British people prefer to hang out behind their house rather than in front of it.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas Americans, it's a pretty even mix of both. In the UK, if you go to someone's house, you're always going to be in the garden, never in the front garden.
Yeah, nobody in the UK is ever at the front. You're always at the back.
I actually prefer that because it feels more like you are in that person's space. Like, you know, it's more hospitable, more welcoming. Yeah, in the back, as opposed to being in the front where all the neighbors can walk by and be like, oh, wonder what's happening over at Jackie's house today. The next difference is microwaves. Now, as you guys probably already know, it is very common for pretty much every American household to have a microwave in their kitchen.
Same here.
For heating things like coffee or soup or even, God forbid, tea.
Not just reheating tea, but actually boiling the water for tea.
I've still never done that before.
My family did it growing up.
That's mad. Listen, in the UK, we just have a kettle to boil our water.
Really?
I'm ashamed to admit.
Stick the water in there and like wait for it to boil, and then you pull it out and put the tea bag in.
Exactly. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. But it's really terrible because what it does is it heats up the mug itself. So you have to like use a napkin or something to pull it out of the microwave because the whole mug is on fire.
I've literally never done that. I thought when the Brits were making fun of us for doing that that wasn't something any Americans did.
No, it's something Americans do. I'd like to say...
Yo, let me know how you guys boil your water.
I'm not throwing my family under the bus. They did eventually get rid of the microwave and now exclusively use an electric kettle.
The next difference is dishwasher.
Wait, I'm confused. Are they saying that people in the UK don't have microwaves? Was that their point? Bro, everyone in the UK has a microwave. Literally everyone.
Get rid of the microwave and now exclusively use an electric kettle.
The next difference is dishwashers. Around 49% of British households have dishwashers in their home, whereas around 68% of American households have dishwashers.
Just like with laundry machines and dryers, this makes a lot of sense. There's a lot less room in a British house, so you're not going to have room for a dishwasher.
Right.
But on the plus side, since you have the clothes washing machine in the kitchen already, you can just chuck your tea mug and plates in there. Tumble wash them, pull them out. And...
Yo, there's no chance that anybody does that, bro.
Got your pants and your plates clean.
No chance.
Nice.
That's great.
The next difference is one I'm really excited about because I haven't seen anyone mention this before, and so this might be an Eric and Grace original.
Okay.
And this difference is hallways. While American homes do have hallways, they're not used quite the same way as they are in the UK. The big difference is that in the UK, when you walk into a house, you almost always walk into a hallway.
Right.
Of the 9 homes that we stayed in, I want to say 8 of those had you walking directly into a hallway rather than into, like we have in the States, into a living room, into a kitchen, or another sort of common area. So what I'm talking about is that in the UK, you have a house. So here's a house, beautiful, beautiful house. And you'll have the front door. Here's the front door. And then when you walk in, you have this hallway, and then very often you have stairs off to one side. Yep. So this is an example of a house that we...
Bro, this is spot on, bro. You have the hallway here, the stairs going up. So you walk in here, you got the stairs to the left and the hallway in front, and then you got like the common room.
Stayed in Leeds, come in the front door here.
Right.
If you go through the back, there's some bedrooms back here.
That's most homes.
You go up the stairs to the second floor here if you want. But the thing that really tripped me up, and the thing that I want to ask you guys about, is that here you have this hallway, you have these walls, and then you have a door. And if you walk through here, you walk into the living room. And what really confused me is why this hallway existed. Because it seems to me like if you just knock down these walls and this door, you would have a much bigger living room. It would increase by...
Yeah, but how are you going to sneak past your parents, bro? Like your parents are in the living room, you've gone out, and you're not allowed to go out. How are you going to sneak past them? It's impossible. Oh, wait. Is that why in American movies, kids are always sneaking out their bedroom windows? Yo, wait, is that why? Is that always? Oh, no way.
2 to 3 feet if you build houses in the UK, and you know why. Is it just tradition?
No
I feel
way.
like you could really maximize on space and have a much bigger house by knocking those walls down.
Yeah, to be fair, he's got a point, though. Like, UK homes are really small anyway. So, like, if we didn't have the hallway, we'd have bigger rooms. He's got a good point.
Now that we've talked about a difference that confuses us about the UK, let's hop across the pond and talk about something that bugs the heck out of us in the States. So this difference, let's just call it stupid granite countertops. Most American kitchens seem to have what I like to call stupid granite countertops.
Oh, really?
The granite that I'm talking about has that shine. It's almost like it has little bits of silver in it. You know,
yeah, okay.
Glitter.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, you put a light on it and the counter glitters. Ugh, it's so bad.
You think it just looks maybe a little tacky?
Well, what? Most American homes have this. Okay.
It's like a tiger it's supposed to look luxurious, but maybe it's just kind of...
Yes, that's exactly
it's an attempt to look posh.
Yeah.
It fails.
But we never saw those in the UK, which was a huge reprieve.
Yeah, I haven't seen them.
We needed that. And so thank you, UK, for helping us recover from stupid granite countertops. Now it's your turn.
Let me know in the comments if you guys got any stupid granite countertops. There we go.
What differences have you noticed between British and American homes? And
yo, that was a good video though. Really interesting. A lot of different points I haven't seen before. I haven't seen any reason to not prefer American houses though. I ain't gonna lie. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe for more content. I'm live every single day on twitch.tv/L3WG. If you guys want to check me out over there, I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.